So the reason that I genuinely believe in work-life balance and loving what you do is something that I have a passion about, which is particularly why I called my business Love Work Life. I believe that working in an environment where the company that you work with share your values, share your morals, share your attitudes is absolutely important. It's not just about working, it's about working in organisations where you feel an alignment of attitudes, an alignment of desire, alignment of goal setting. The fact is that no amount of money can ever assuage your conscience if you're working with a business that you find immoral, abhorrent, or just simply misaligned with your belief system. The same is really true of corporate culture and attitudes. They need to be consistent with your own. You really want to be working in an environment that reflects your own values and working with people you absolutely love working with. You're going to see more of these people than you see of your own family, so it's really important that you find organisations where you feel that their attitudes and their culture are very close to your own. In the end, it's not about the money, it's about being happy. You know, we're only on this planet a very, very short period of time, and you really want to be gravitating to work that you do particularly well, assess your strengths, assess the things that you do particularly well. Work very closely at becoming outstanding at something rather than focusing on areas where your skill sets are perhaps average, because even working really hard in those areas propels you to a point of mediocrity. And let's face it, who wants to be mediocre? You want to be outstanding and brilliant at what you do. So try to find work that really matches, if you can, the things that you know you have skill sets that align with them. Try to work in areas where you can excel, where you are doing stuff that gives you absolute pleasure, things that you know can make a difference to those around you, so that you can provide that level of positivity to your workplace and to the people around you. I think it's also very important when you're interviewing to recognise that it's a two-way street. You're being interviewed by your employer or prospective employer, and you in turn, in a sense, are also interviewing that individual. It's going to be like that. Ultimately, you have to assess whether you're suitable for the organisation at least as much as they're assessing you in terms of whether you're going to fit in with their business. And I think assess your own God-given talents and skill sets. Choose work that befits your abilities. Work on your strengths, as I've already said, not your weaknesses. If you really want to be great at something, it's just very important to maintain that focus. I also greatly believe in education, which sounds like an odd thing to say from an old guy like me now. But you know, I genuinely think that opening up your mind and learning new experiences, always being aware of opportunities to expand your horizons, taking in new opportunities, and just learning how to grow is so important. I always tell people, do things every day that make you uncomfortable, because that ultimately is the way in which you grow, the way in which you stretch. And I don't think that education is purely for the young. In fact, even at my ripe old age, I find learning to be a very rewarding experience. It's enjoyable. Perhaps I didn't feel like that when I was a kid at school, but I certainly feel that way now. So I think it's very important also to find environments where you get that opportunity to learn from other people, and use the people around you, the people that are older, wiser, more experienced, who have knowledge that they can pass on to you. Why make mistakes? Why learn from bad experiences when you can lean on other people who are prepared to give you that knowledge and experience to help you to grow and develop? And I think that's very important. Equally, I think maybe, and this is a life lesson, I think giving of yourself to other people, providing positive energy to people, is something that we should all do. Often I'm asked about working in companies and whose responsibility is it to create a great culture, and I always respond in the same way. It's your responsibility, it's the individual's responsibility. We have an equal responsibility to make sure that when we turn up for work, we're positive, we give out good energy, and we influence people in a positive way. It's not someone else's responsibility to do that. And my experience is, when you give out, you get back. And I genuinely think that it's never the case that you should approach any experience, let alone work, thinking what's in it for me, in terms of giving of yourself. I think if you give of yourself, you'll get back 10 times over what you gave. And I guess it sounds a bit a bit airy-fairy, a bit wishy-washy, but the truth is that if you open up your arms to the universe, you get paid back in ways you simply can't imagine. And I think that's important in a workplace too. I think not only that, but in making sure that you enter the workplace with your mind in the right place every day. You know, we all have situations personally where sometimes we're not feeling great, maybe we're not feeling well, but when you step over the threshold at work every day, you put on a brave face, you smile, and you give it everything you can, and you go for it. And in the end, I think chasing your dreams, finding work that befits you, that is right for you, that you can fall in love with, that you can feel passionate about, is more important than the pursuit of money. The pursuit of happiness, ultimately, is where we should all be. If you do something absolutely to an outstanding level, in my experience, money follows. But even if it's not money, think of it this way. The legacy that you leave, the impression that you put on other people as you grow, as you develop, as you grow your careers and move forward, is greater reward than any monetary reward could ever be. But it's also my experience that when you do something to an outstanding level, very typically you progress, you develop your career, and ultimately attain a level of wealth as well. So in summary, what can I say? I think that there's no such thing as entitlement. I don't think that any one of us deserve any success that we get. In that sense, I think it's all about going out there every day and fighting for what we want. Because in the end, anything worth having, you have to work very hard for. But ultimately, choose to do things that you love doing, and then it doesn't feel like work, it feels like pleasure. Thank you.